episode of The Good News. I'm TJ.
And I'm Doc.
And we're delighted that you have joined us once again for an episode of The Good News.
Okay, let's just jump right into the good news.
Okay.
I was reading articles and it caught my attention, and the caption said, "Stop capturing moments and enjoy moments." And when I read the article, it just took me to a lot of life events where a lot of us are guilty of putting out our cameras, our camcorders, our iPads, and any other recording devices to record moments so we won't forget them, but in the meantime we miss enjoying the moment. Have you ever had opportunities? I know I have. A lot of times I remember not really growing up, I remember when children were growing up and we would record events and you had to be quiet because you didn't want to have your voice on the camera while you were recording the event that was going on.
Yeah, so I think about when our youngest son played football and actually smuggling in the camcorder so that we could record the game and have some footage for him as he moved on in his football career. But it's interesting that we focus on what we're going to take away rather than where we are at the moment.
You know, it makes me realize the importance of having a professional photographer, someone to video it. And I just think about some of the Little League coaches, some of the Little League baseball teams and basketball teams I coached, and how a lot of times those memories that are in my head are a lot better than some of the recordings that I probably could have had if I would have had it recorded.
You know, one of our favorite movies, Along Came Polly, when he had the video crew following him around doing his own true Hollywood story. And so maybe we need something like that in our lives to capture moments so we can actually live in them rather than taking our time to capture video, record, snap pictures. It's just become so much a fabric of who we are and what we do with an instant camera right at your fingertips. And whoever sees those pictures. So unless you're on Instagram, I still laugh because my mom actually takes pictures and has them developed and brings them so you can touch and feel them. Who does that anymore?
You know, I was just thinking about the wedding this weekend.
Yeah.
How one of the first questions that was asked of me, do I have any pictures? And I said, no, not really. We had a photographer there, and I'm pretty sure when the photographer finished all the pictures and everything, we would get a chance to see it. But there were quite a few people who have already posted pictures on Facebook and Twitter and everything, and the quality of the pictures didn't really fully capture the moment. And I was glad I was able to enjoy the moment without having to worry about taking pictures. And a lot of times when we try to capture moments with pictures, even if we're the one that's being captured, we have a tendency not to be natural because we're posing for the camera.
Yeah, we become our own paparazzi. So we never actually get to get that moment where we can just breathe a sigh of relief and just be natural and normal in this highly photographed time that we live in.
You know, even as we capture this moment of the good news, you know, I think about how appearance is so important. We want to make sure that we sit properly, we enunciate properly. And if the camera wasn't there, just think about how natural we would be.
And much more relaxed than we would. But because you value people's time, but do we value our own, I think, and the moments that we get to share and the life that we are experiencing as we live it rather than on film or on camera.
You know, I think about how a lot of times after we do the recording for the good news and we go back and review it and look at some of the things, and some of the best moments wasn't captured. Some of the best moments were some of the things that you all don't get to really see and hear. And it's just interesting knowing how we're able to enjoy this moment. You might be enjoying the moment that was captured, but we're actually enjoying the whole process of setting this up so we can deliver to you good news and to encourage you to enjoy moments of life.
That's so true.
In other news, this weekend is the celebration of the homecoming for Morris Brown College, my alma mater, and I'm just so excited that I have friends from all over the country coming to Atlanta, Georgia this weekend on this Saturday to celebrate Morris Brown College homecoming. And I do plan to go up on the campus and spend at least a couple hours up there reminiscing and talking to some old friends, some that I see regularly, maybe once a year, and some who might surprise me that I might not have seen in a couple of years or several years. So this is an exciting weekend for all of those of us who bleed purple and white blood.
Go Wolverines. I think it's interesting that it seems to be a phenomenon of historically black college and universities.
Yeah.
That it's like a family, and you come back together, and it's like you never left the campus. And I am grateful to have shared in just a little bit of that history and heritage through you with Morris Brown College, and through my experience with Fort Valley State University and with the ITC. It's really a family. You make connections that last a lifetime.
You know, I think about with me being in the marching band in college and fraternity and some of the people I get to see, and it is a big family.
It really is.
I remember when the kids were young, I would take the kids on campus, and you know, they thought that they were like celebrities because of who we were as parents, and how many people we knew, and how many people they got introduced to, and how many of our friends, kids they got to hang out with, and not all of them are grown and in college and graduated from college. It makes me realize I'm not as young as I used to be when I go back to homecoming.
You wait till you have grandkids to go back with you to homecoming.
Wow, grandkids. I'm just now grasping the concept of my daughter getting married.
I know. And I'm just grateful that I had the opportunity to hear Dr. Stanley Pritchett, the president of Morris Brown College, on talk radio earlier today.
Yes. And
just to hear the excitement in his voice about the homecoming festivities and all the different venues that the alumni will be at and hosting events. And I'm just really excited about the spirit of Morris Brown College.
You know, and it is exciting for us. A lot of people have counted Morris Brown out. They have unplugged the life support system from Morris Brown, but Morris Brown still has a pulse. Morris Brown has a thriving pulse, and I do believe eventually Morris Brown will be able to be resuscitated and come back to the life Morris Brown alumni and Morris Brown students and family once knew. And it's only a matter of time, and I do believe that Morris Brown is very vital to the community right now, just as it was many, many years ago.
I'm going to have to say it. We know that Morris Brown College is founded and run by the African Methodist Episcopal Church. And Pastor and I have spent some time in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and both ordained through that Zion. And whenever I hear about Morris Brown and I hear him speak so passionately about Morris Brown coming back, it reminds me of an AME annual conference opening up with "Are You Yet Alive?"
Yes.
Morris Brown, I'm happy to say, is still alive. And congratulations to Morris Brown and the alumni that will be coming to Atlanta, Georgia this weekend to celebrate yet another homecoming. Congratulations. And going back to listening to talk radio this morning, my mother is such a fan of talk radio, and I had the opportunity to spend some time with her this evening. And along with hearing President Stanley Pritchett talk about Morris Brown College, I also caught a snippet on the Derek Bozeman show that airs here in Atlanta. I'm not sure what station it is that she was listening to. He's on a couple. But they were talking about a watch, and it's called the Ticker. And if you go to kickstart.com, I'm not sure if it's .com or .org, but I'll put it down in the About section of this video. And this watch, apparently, once you plug in the right information, will count down exactly how long you have left to live on this earth.
Did Derek Bozeman invent the watch, or he just promoting the watch?
It's just a story that's out on Kickstarter. And so when you go out on Kickstarter, it's an investment portfolio type website where if you have an invention or an idea, you can request donations, investments from other investors, I think is the way they phrase it. So they were trying to raise $25,000 to get this idea off the ground of this watch that actually counts down how much time you have left on Earth. and they were looking for 25,000, and at last count they were over 39,000 of donors. So I guess we'll see this on the market. So if I had to look at my watch and see exactly how much time I had left, would I use my time more wisely, you think?
You know, it's kind of hard for me to imagine that exists, but I am aware that you can put your date of birth in Google, and it can tell you exactly how many days you've lived.
I remember you saying that.
So I do believe that this is something that's possible also, and you know, I'm just glad that Derek Bozeman presented that story to us, who also happened to be an alumnus of Morris Brown College.
Yes, he was on this show talking about it. You know what I thought about with this watch? Okay, so what battery does it run on? What if I wake up one day and it stopped?
Maybe it run on your pulse beat, and when your pulse stops, it tells you you're dead.
I mean, I'm sure they have thought about all the technology that goes behind it. I'm sure it runs on solar, but that would just be horrific if I have placed a lot of stock in this watch and I look at it one day and it's no longer ticking.
Well, I don't think I will be purchasing that watch. I think I'm going to stick to no man or woman knows the day nor the hour when the Savior will come again, the Son of Man will come again. And I'm going to stick to that theory, and I think I will wait on that one as opposed to having a watch letting me know.
I am in agreement with you. I'm going to put my stock on things everlasting rather than those made by man.
Yes. I want to get ready to shift gears to our NFL picks for the week.
It's NFL time. We're going to have to get a theme song like the da-da-da, or what's the Monday Night Football one?
Oh, yeah, I like the Monday Night Football
song, too. We'll have to
too.
get you a theme song for your picks.
And last week, I didn't do as good as I did the previous week. Last week, I was 3-2. So that brings my weekly total to 7-3, which is not bad. It's 7% right now.
Okay.
But I need to do better this week because I need to get my percentage higher.
All right.
And let me give you my picks for the week. The Detroit Lions at the Cleveland Browns. I'm going with the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
The Cincinnati Bengals will be at the Buffalo Bills. I'm picking the Cincinnati Bengals. The Oakland Raiders will be at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, who are on the clock right now, will be losing against the Denver Broncos, which is also said to have the largest spread of an NFL margin of victory that's projected than any other NFL game that has been projected in very, very long time. And finally, the Tennessee Titans, I have them losing to the Seattle Seahawks. And those are my picks for week number 6. And I want to give a shout out to my NFL Fantasy Football League team on ESPN called the Revenuers. And I want to shout out the real Buckeyes, who is undefeated in our NFL Fantasy League, and the only team that my team, the Atlanta ATL All the Way, has lost to. So shout out to the real Buckeyes.
Thank each of you for joining us. Continue to comment and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at The Good News YT and on G+ at The Good News YT. And we will continue to bring you more good news.
So in all your giving, keep on giving.
That's not a saying. Good day and good night.
It is now. If Pastor Dawkins say now you're getting, get understanding, that's a scripture though.
Yeah, you know, made up some
It's out of
stuff.
Kirk.
Dang, Bible.